to Tarot with Tanya. I'm continuing my series here on words that I feel are connected to spirit, that have a different spiritual meaning or word magic, I'm also calling it. And today's word is doubt. And it seems right now, at least for me, people close to me, that has been a big energy. Thoughts, feelings, issues coming up that make one question the self and have doubts about the path. So some words that are connected to doubt are two in twain, two left as an over from 10, so also connected to the word 12, twilight, twibble, which is a battle axe with two edges, had to look that up. Zwieback, biscuit, twice, twist, such as in a rope. Also the word 20, a double thread, a twisted thread, twin, twine. And the one that I like best and fits most, I think, with what I feel about this right now is at the middle point of two. At the middle point of two. We'll come back to that. What does that mean for us? So it's also connected to between, betwixt, twig, branch, fork, twofold, double, testicles even, dual, dyad, double, duplex, duplicate, and of course doubtful, meaning hesitating between two alternatives, and then dubious. My definition that I got from Spirit is to do oneself out of faith and trust. So when we doubt ourselves, we're losing our faith, which to me is our belief in Spirit guiding us, helping us in the spirit world. And then trust, which I've defined before as the truest root for a person. So if we lose our trust, we are getting cut off from our belief in ourself. So what I did, again, was a Celtic cross to see what the cards would have to say about this. And the first card I got at the heart of the matter is the Queen of Swords. And I'm using the Crow deck, which I just love. And I think it's especially good for shadow work, and I mean kind of looking into those qualities or traits that we might deny in ourselves, not want to see in ourselves, things like that, things that we feel uncomfortable about. And I think doubt is one of those. When we're in doubt, again, we're not trusting ourselves, we're not having faith in our guidance and so forth. So anyway, here comes the Queen of Swords. What's she about? And right away, that's strong mental energy, potent clarity, seeing things, wanting to talk about things in a much clearer, more open way. And it can even be seen as dispelling doubt by offering clarity instead. So, swords are masculine, but the feminine is here in terms of it being a queen. So I like that. We have this intellectual queen who is looking at spiritual or alternative ways to think about this word doubt. What's supporting it or crossing it is the card of death. And, death in the tarot is not literal death. In the 30 years or so I've been reading for people, that only happened one time. And again, it's very unusual. What it tends to mean, almost always, is a spiritual change, that an old way is ending and a new way is beginning. So I feel like that's the old doubt. Are we going to do ourselves out? What we know about ourselves, what we trust in, what we believe, what we have faith in, or let it conquer us. Then for what's below this, we have the Five of Discs or Pentacles, and this is always a tough card. It has a tendency to show a small group, maybe 2, 3 people outside of shelter, outside of warmth, outside of that spiritual guidance that we all need. And in this particular one, you have a couple of crows down on the ground. I don't know how well you might be able to see that. While the other 3 are up in the tree with these wonderful glowing pentacles or discs. So it's like a part is feeling left out and seeking, while another part, maybe even connected um, to, a solid sense of what is right, what actions matter, and so forth. Because the discs are practical, are about what we do, about what we have, material, how we interact with the material, and so forth. So, in terms of the word today, doubt, what is this saying? I think it's exactly what we're talking about, that the word doubt was a way of cutting ourselves off from something better, from our higher selves, in this case, the 3 crows in the tree. Then what's above the situation, what's above the word, is love, the 2 of cups. And yeah, who doesn't love this card? It's always nice to see. So there's some kind of, I believe in this case, interaction between the self and the higher self, or the self and spirit world, our higher guidance, that's saying, how can we come together? And instead of breaking at that middle point of 2, how can we join? How can we have that flow of energy that you see in the cards here? You see with the 2 crows connecting, the caduceus, the healing that can come of that. And that's what's above our situation. So I think that's a wonderful omen for us. What's behind this situation was the King of Pentacles. And again, another earth card, a card of action, of material goods, and so forth. Sometimes this is called the slow king, the one who takes a long time to do things, and also very materialistic. In this case, I do feel that that's what this is about, that doubt is something that has been used against people. How do we destroy someone's confidence? How do we create doubts in a person to bend that person's will? To me, that's totally wrong. That everybody is sovereign, everybody has a spirit to be honored. So to me, this is an energy that's been in the past of trying to push, again, one's will onto someone else. And again, a great way to do it is by sowing doubt in that person. So then let's move to what's coming ahead, and that is the Judgment card. You have sometimes it's seen as an angel, archangel, so the 1 crow, the large one here, crowing away, raising the other spirits up from, death, not again literal death, but a kind of spiritual death. And so it's sort of being called home, which also makes a lot of sense to me here. How are we being called? And I think it's not, when I say home, it's an inward place. It is inside ourselves. And inside ourselves is that place where we can recognize that we are a part of spirit, each one of us. And, when we are sitting in self-judgment, which can also be a part of doubt, or sitting in judgment of others, we're not being our most authentic and best selves. So a positive way to see this is, how do we use our judgment to make better choices, to be honest with ourselves and love ourselves, give ourselves always the benefit of a doubt, as they say. And, that's in the positive sense. That's where, okay, maybe I screwed up, or maybe I've had doubt in myself, but I know I can, I know I'm good. I know I'm better. I know that I love myself and can stop judging me in a way that is harsh and unfair. The next card is the card of the self. So we'll take this as the word itself today, doubt. And we have the Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords to me relates to the Death card. It is the ending of something. This poor little crow with all those little sharp things, of course, could not survive the literal swords, but these are mental. The swords are mental cards. So what are the thoughts here? And you see all the swords coming down under this branch, and it's almost like they've been set there, and the crow maybe even crawled under and pushed up into them. The good news about it is that this is not sustainable. The crow is ready for a change, just like in the Death card, a transformation, a different way of contemplating the self, interacting with the self, and hopefully releasing those doubts. The next card is the position of the environment around this, and this is the Justice card. You see, the Libra scales of balance. Today, the moon, it's a full moon in Libra, about almost exactly now, as a matter of fact. And this fits with judgment so well. In numerology, they're both twos. You have an 11, which is a 2, and then the 20, which is also a 2. So I see them as very much connected. And it makes me think right now of the idea that until everyone's treated fairly, no one's really treated fairly. And how can we bring ourselves into balance? And each time we balance personally, we're helping the balance in the universe. We're helping people be grounded, people to self-love when we can do that too. So with this word doubt, when we can stop doing ourselves out of trust and faith, then, there's more justice in the world. The next card is hopes and fears. And here we have the lovely King of Cups. Masculine, because he's a king, of course, but water makes it also have a feminine element. So, we had the Queen of Swords, so she was feminine as a queen and masculine as a sword, and here we have the kind of opposite situation. Dreamy, to me, an aspect of the divine masculine, the one that can be loving, can be comfortable expressing feelings and so forth. So I think part of this, and it fits with the previous card too, how do we bring the masculine and the feminine into balance? How do we have justice in that regard? That can again apply to everyone. And the King of Cups is just a great energy for us, I think, to hope for, again, with the balance, with the loving energies, with a movement away from the old toxic masculinity on the planet. Our outcome card, the last one, is the Magician. And as, one of the readings on word magic, I'm really happy to see this. It's a new beginning. It's tossing up the elements. How do we take that fire, the water, the air, the earth, and create something new? A new way of thinking, a new way of doing, a new excitement. How is this leading us forward in creating a new vision for ourselves? There's a lot of belief that when that Jupiter and Neptune Pisces conjunction happened this week, that it ushered in a whole new era, a whole new energy for us to work with, more light filled. And I heard one person express it as we no longer will be co-creating with the universe through our eyes, through our senses, and projecting it outward. Now we're going to be working with the inward, building from the inside. And I think that's really exciting. I'm not sure that I've totally wrapped my mind around that. It's a lot to contemplate, but I feel like this card helps us move in that direction. So wrapping up, we have 4 majors here today. So that's a sign of stability, that there is some groundedness that is occurring for us. We have a couple of cups, the King of Cups and the Two of Cups, incredibly wonderful, positive energy to help us as we try to recognize our doubts and let them be our teachers. It's not that they're bad to have or anything like that, but how can they inform us? How can they help us see where we might have an area that we want to bolster? We might think of it as having a garden, and we have boundaries around our garden to nurture things, to let them do the best they can. To grow and mature, and maybe we have some weak spots that we can call doubts for now. So when they come up, what do we do with them? How can we make ourselves more connected to our own authentic selves, to our spirit guides, and so forth? We have the material here, as I mentioned, in the Pentacles, and then the mental and the sword. So the only thing that we don't have today is the fire, but I feel like the Magician makes up for that quite a bit, a good fiery energy. So I hope this helps you in some way. I encourage you to look for those places where you might have doubt and know that's totally normal, and see if those can be areas where you can figure out, maybe get help from others, figure out ways to bolster yourself, to strengthen yourself, to see where you might need a little bit stronger boundaries. So thank you so much for spending time with me today, this evening, this morning, wherever you are, when you might happen to see this. And if you are interested in a personal reading, you can contact me at www.tarotwithtanya.net. And I'll put that information also in the box below. And I wish you a wonderful rest of whatever time you have left in this day. Thanks.